Hey guys, I'm Jerry Jordan and I'm going to talk about if off-seasons exist in powerlifting and what they look like when they do. So I think it depends on the athlete and what their situation is. If you have an athlete with a meet plan, whether that's tomorrow or distant in the future, you likely have a general outline of what their training is going to look like throughout the year. So think like an athlete that competes twice a year, maybe wants to qualify for nationals and another time at nationals. In this case, you're generally not going to do anything too crazy with training. You likely want to run something similar to what has worked for you two in the past. Stick to that bread and butter when it comes time to prep. The situation I really want to talk about though on this side, is situation B, is when an athlete doesn't have a meet planned. This could be because they're too busy, burnt out, hurt, whatever it may be. Here you have what I think you could really classify as like a true off-season in powerlifting, but that doesn't mean there's not goals. I think there's like a plethora of opportunities to raise the ceiling for the lifter in this case. And it's not black and white. A lot of the stuff from this side also applies to that side. Especially further out from a meet, especially when it comes to stuff like preparation work, hypertrophy, injury assessment, things like that. But in this true off-season, I think there's 4 categories that become a greater priority than in scenario A that can really help the athlete in the long run. Hypertrophy, technique/injury assessment, data collection, and enjoyment. With hypertrophy, we know the best lifters in every weight class tend to have the most muscle. No surprises there. You look at guys and girls like Ashton, Russell, Jessica, Chrissy Karachi. Take the time to build muscle now in the off-season. You can take advantage of that larger muscle mass with the neuroadaptations later on in prep. With technique and injury, you don't usually want to take and completely change an athlete's squat 4 weeks out from nationals. And changes can take a while to feel good too. So if there's lax in efficiency, now is a really good time to take 1 step back maybe and for potentially 3 steps forward in the future for the athlete. Maybe they need to widen their bench grip, change stances, whatever it may be. I put injury assessment in this category as well. Whether that injury comes from movement patterns or if it's a one-time injury that with recurring symptoms, now is a really good time to seek the professional help the athlete needs to ensure a long and lengthy, healthy career in sport. We know someone that's always hurt isn't going to be in the game long, and their enjoyment certainly is not going to be as high as it could be. Data collection. The better you know your athlete, the better you can coach them. With this open-ended training opportunity, you kind of have more chances to find what does work best for the athlete. You can try different volumes, frequencies, intensities, exercise selection, tapering strategies, intra-week structure, any combination of any of these. To better help the athlete later on when it comes time to prep. Lastly, I think enjoyment should play a large role in off-season programming. When enjoyment is higher, effort and adherence levels tend to follow. This can help a ton to avoid burnout and can make the athlete feel really fresh. There's many ways to do this too, depending on the athlete and what they like. I wish I had more time to elaborate on this. I love it. I could gladly talk about it all day. This is how I think off-seasons in powerlifting could look, and thanks for the opportunity.